So, welcome to the 21-day hCG fat elimination cycle. I'm obviously Chris, and I'm going to take you guys through how it all works and what we've been testing and trialling and getting some amazing results, and really helping people to not only just get the results but actually keep them as well. And that's what a lot of tonight's going to be about as well, so both. So let's just firstly talk about what exactly is hCG. Basically, it's the human chorionic gonadotropin, if anyone wants to try and pronounce it again. But basically what it helps to do is teach the body to use its stored fat reserves to meet its daily energy and nutrient requirements. Okay, so what that actually means is it's used in conjunction with a very low calorie diet. And what it actually does is it teaches your body to use this, so there's the three types of fat that we've got in our body. We've got the stuff that sits in and around the organs that we need. We don't need too much of it, but a little bit in there, it needs to be around there. We've got the other type of fat that sits inside of our muscles. And we've got the third type of fat, which is the white fat, and that's the stuff we want to get rid of. Okay? And what happens is on a normal everyday program, everyday exercise regime, the first thing we try and do is we try and get rid of the two other fats, the brown fats. And the body's like, no, I've got to hold on to the white fat, because why? If we don't hold on to it, we're going to die, because our body goes to that ice age thing. Okay? Ice age zone, I guess. So what it actually does is, using conjunction with a very low calorie diet, it teaches your body to utilize that third stored fat, the third layer of fat, stuff that we want to get rid of. Whereas everything else doesn't. And that's what makes it different. It makes it freaking awesome. So it's 500 calories as well. Now, if we were just to do 500 calories, yeah, it would be a big issue. We would lose weight. Everybody would lose weight. That's why other shake companies and things, I won't mention any names, but that's why other shake companies make a lot of money in their way, because yeah, if you had 600 calories a day, you are going to shed weight, of course. Problem is, because you lower your metabolism, you lose too much muscle mass at that time, because your body's not getting the nutrients that it requires, you put it all back on. And that's the difference, is with the homeopathic drops that we take, the hCG stuff, it actually sits under the tongue, and it enters into the body, obviously, and it teaches the body to get to that third layer of fat. And it's still, you're still eating up to 2,500 calories a day by utilizing the hCG. Why? Because it's, again, using the stored fat for energy to fuel our brown fat, which is the muscle and the organ fat that we actually want. That makes sense? Yeah. Somewhat. It's obviously a hunger suppressant, and that's the key. We'll monitor everyone individually, because some people are going to need a few more drops, other people can just have the bare minimum, which is what we want to have around that 10 to 12. But you know, it's a hunger suppressant, so you don't feel hungry. You're taking 500 calories, but your body's utilising your stored fat for nutrients for the body. And that's why we don't feel hungry. So, there's 4 stages in the cycle. Stage 1 is the preloading stage, days 1 and 2. Now, this is the most fun days, is because we basically begin taking the supplement, which is super fun. But after that, you can basically eat as much as you want. We want to get as many good fats into our system, and also that's not amazing up here. What we say is up here is the French fries at home, for the French fries and the chippies and your McDonald's. Whatever your fetish, your food fetish is, your love is, go and have it on these 2 days. Right? Put the good stuff in there as well. Get the butters, get your almonds, get your avocados, get your eggs in there. Get your high-fat milk, get your coconut oils, but also go and get it out of your system. You're going to go into 19 days of 500 calories where it's going to be very clean, very lean, it's going to be the top shelf food, no preservative stuff. So for this 2 days, you've got to get it out of your system. You just got to go hard and just do it, okay? You might put on a couple of kilos, but you'll lose them very, very quickly when you get back on. And the toughest part about this day, and I've written in the manual, is by the middle of day 2, is what will happen is you will start to feel the hCG kick in, and you won't feel hungry anymore. And it's going to be like, oh my God, I don't want any more food, I've had all the crap, I've had it all, I've done the ice cream, I've done whatever it is you need to do, you've got to keep going. Every 2 to 3 hours you must keep going, okay? This is all in there, but obviously. The next stage is days 3 to 21. So this is the meat, I guess, of the, literally the meat, no pun intended. Literally the meat of the thing, of the program. You want to be eating fruit, salads, vegetables, and meat in actual specific quantities. And this is where you guys come in. You need to be making sure that you're getting the exact amount of food that you require. We're gonna show you exactly what to do and how to measure it and all that sort of stuff that comes in this little booklet here. and it's going to be nice and detailed, and I'll give that to you guys on Saturday when we come in for the testing and everything. But basically, you need to spend that weekend planning what you're going to be doing, because that's the key. Weigh every day. You're going to weigh yourself every day, and you will lose between 200 and 400 grams every day. Okay, that is your target. Stored fat is released and used for energy, as I was explaining earlier. It does say in here, if your weight loss is in excess of 12 kilos, you can actually do stage 2 as a double dose. You can do that for up to 42 days. After that, the hCG doesn't actually, it's not accepted by the body after that. It starts to build a bit of a repellent against it, and so it doesn't actually accept. So you have a couple of weeks off. So for clients, that may want to lose more than 7, it is possible. A lot of people get to that sort of 3-week stage and they're like, actually it's not too bad. I probably could just keep going. So on 21 days, I could probably double it. Okay, but again, it's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. Yeah. Once you see the results, you might go, damn, this is very motivating.
when it says that so obviously it's the goal is more than 12 kilos, is that after you've lost 12 kilos, the body starts to reject it, or is it due to the time frame? It's
due to the time frame. The body doesn't. You'll stop losing the weight. So you need to have a rest of it. So you get the hCG out of your system, and then you can put more in once it's completely out of your system. And it takes 3 days to completely get out, but they do say the studies that I've read, 2 weeks is a minimum to get it out of completely get it out. So you're not. So your body, when you put it back in, it doesn't go, oh, it's that stuff again. Or stop you from utilising the fat now.
But if you start to take it. That's what I said before. We aren't going to put all that weight.
I will go through that. Sure. That's coming. That's coming. But let's just leave that for now. You can do it double if you want to, but we'll move on to stage 3. That'll answer your next stage. Okay, these next 2 stages will answer that question. Day 22 to day 25. So I know I call it a 21-day program, and it is 21 days. That's your hardest 21 days. The first 2 is included in that 21, so it's not that hard. But these other last 3 days, you remain on the very low-calorie diet for another 72 hours, up to 72 hours. Most people have to do the 72 hours. Why? Because it's still going to be in your system. So you're still staying at 500 calories. You've still got to get out of your system. You may start to get a lot hungrier by day 3. Again, we'll monitor it individually, and we'll just stay in contact, and we'll see how you're actually tracking and what we can start to do to move you to stage 4, which is what you were asking just a second ago. So your appetite will still be down, so don't be freaking out going, oh my God, I'm not taking these drops anymore, because you've had it for that full 19 days in your system. Your body's still going to have a lot in there. Okay, so obviously it's not going to be as hungry, as not hungry as what it was in the first, in stage 2, however it will still be down. Okay. Stage 4. So this is where you stop counting calories. You start to introduce foods back into your diet again. This is the key. This is, you want to keep the weight off. You want to keep it and never have it come back. This is where it gets the most. This is where it becomes the most important. Learn what foods are making your body healthy. So when you start to introduce more things, okay, how do I feel on this? How does it affecting my body? Look at the scales. The next 3 weeks, you've got to be looking at the scales every single day. Learn what foods cause inflammation and cause sickness in your body. You get bloating. You start to feel whatever it is. Everybody's different. You've all heard of. I mean, you can go and get a test done in a naturopath for about $300, and they can tell you exactly what you're allergic to, exactly what's going on in your body. But if you want to avoid doing that, spending that kind of money on doing it, then you need to just listen to your body and find out after every meal, because your body will be so awake. So you'll be so any sort of detox thing, your body just wakes up and it's like it's alive. People when they do detox, their eyes go really white and really beautiful, and I'm sure you guys have heard and seen. So this is a stage I'll educate you for a lifetime, done properly, and you will maintain your perfect weight. Okay. So let's talk more about it. So we're going to focus on foods that are higher in protein. hCG, when active, will provide those required levels of protein. So when you go off them, you need to then start to step up, which is why we have a little bit of protein to keep the body moving along. Again, the recipe book will explain exactly what to eat. But you want to start to, in this stage 4 stuff, introduce nuts, nut butters, olive oils, flaxseed oils, avocados, small amounts of dairy and cheese, small amounts, okay? Because generally dairy is quite inflammatory, and when we say recommend protein, we probably recommend the one that we utilise here, which is a vegan protein. Okay, I'm not vegan myself, but I do take this stuff at least 2, possibly 3 times a day, because it's non-inflammatory, and so you'll find your body will accept it and absorb it, and you'll feel good on it. But any sort of dairy, you may find that you won't feel the best on it, okay, especially after having a few weeks off. But you need to start introducing a little bit of it, because we can't completely miss it out unless we're intolerant. But it will be very inflammatory. Vegetables and fruits as well, we start to introduce those. Things we're going to avoid: pineapples, mangoes, too high in sugar, starchy vegetables, potatoes, rice, corn, or beans. We're going to avoid breads and pastas. We're going to avoid any lollies, cakes, and sweets. Okay? All processed food. That's just for that 3 weeks. This is to maintain, so you set your body up, and the next slide will tell us why. You're going to continue to eat your real whole foods, and this is how you lock in your results. It takes a further 3 weeks for the body to actually stabilise and begin to lock in the changes that you've put in for. So you do the hard yards, and then you start to lock them in. It becomes a part of what you need in your body. You start to introduce little things. You start to have your 5 or 6 days on, and your 2 days where you can begin enjoying yourself again. Okay, just a little bit. Not saying I don't enjoy yourself. Biggest key here is please do not be fooled into thinking that calorie restriction will continue to help with the weight loss. If you go onto a really low calorie diet, you will lose muscle, and that is the key. This stuff replaces the protein, what you get from protein in your body. This stuff replaces that, and it allows your body to keep the muscle mass. Yes, you may lose a little bit, which is why we'll test the in-body scans and see how much you're actually, but you won't lose as much. If you were to go on a 500 calorie diet, you will strip, and it's the brown fat. That's the stuff you need to keep. You won't strip the white fats. Okay? So we're not recommending that in any shape or form. It'll be different for everybody. Some people may build back up to 1,200. Some people start, maybe a pyramid, where you go up to maybe 1,000 calories, then you go up to 1,200, and then it depends on what you're doing with your training and what level you're at. Then you start to step up to 15, 2, 2.5, whatever it is for you. Everybody will be slightly different. Okay. hCG and exercise. I'll stand up here as a health and fitness professional, and I'm going to say a moderate level of strenuous exercise. So we're going to take it down a lot, okay, for these 3 weeks. Okay? Strenuous exercise can be counterproductive. Intense cardio or overexerted strength-based training, this is just for 21 days, will compete for your energy pathway and result in fatigue. So I've been testing with a few of our clients here and having them sort of come in and train at different times, and we test the different levels of intensity and what they can actually handle. And so you'll be given individual instruction, and your body's a little bit different, but you want to drop it from, like, if you love to train at 100, which you will be a trainer, you'll be training at about between 25 and 40%. So you work on more higher reps. I'm not saying you're not going to work in your training session. I know it's the craziest thing I'm ever going to say, is not do as crazy exercise, because that's what we do, right? However, we need to understand it's just for a short period, and it works end of the day. Recommendations, so going for a walk every day, and lightweight bearing strength training exercise, and some stretching and some yoga as well. Very much so. Good time to get into yoga if nobody's into it. Perfect time to get into it. Your body you can build some strength in that stuff, and you hold it at a really good low level. Not hot Bikram yoga though, just nice, gentle, relaxing yoga. Okay, for the ladies in the room, and do not take hCG menstruation cycle. You don't take it when you have, if you get your period during, you stop immediately. You stop for that heavy stage, and you wait until the heavy stage passes. We will stay in individual contact with everybody, but you must continue to go to 500 calories. Again, it works kind of like the, exactly the same way. Sorry, you should work over time. Moment there. So must continue on the 500 calories. Why? It's just like when you stop taking it, it's like entering into stage 3. What will happen is your body will still be present. A little bit tougher. It's harder being a woman, isn't it? So, pretty simple. Your body will continue to have hCG. There you go, that's the next sentence. And add the days that you missed onto the 21-day program. So you need to continue on for an extra 2 to 4 days, depending on how heavy it is. Okay. Packages, and then we'll go back into some other stuff. So for package 1, now I'm pricing this one here normally at $3.99. For you guys being my first group that will come through, everyone at home as well, we're going in at 229, which is basically, I'm just taking my time in there for free. For anyone, for the 15-minute appointments, 3 of those for everybody, I'm just basically giving my time because I want to make sure you guys get a great deal and you rave about it and you tell everybody how awesome we are, and then we can move forward stronger. So, but basically what you get is in-body scans, accountability sessions, the drops, post 21-day maintenance booklet, which will be what you do afterwards in a bit more detail. Also just a quick overview tonight. Recipe books and the elimination cycle booklet as well, which is the one you're holding in your hands. Package 2. Now, colon cleanse sessions. I'll explain colon cleansing in a second. Okay, this is another level. Includes everything in pack 1, but includes also another 3 sessions on this lovely machine. Nice TV set up there, nice little pipe. Really high quality machine, the best in the world actually. This is why there's only one company in Australia and in Queensland that has this particular machine, and that's why we're recommending it. I'll explain that to you in a second. That package is $6.99, but you guys I think are getting it for, I think it was either $4.99, I think it was $4.99? Yeah, I changed this today. Package 3 is all your meals are included as well. So there's 42 meals, which are breakfast and dinner, lunch and dinner. And the other stuff is the drops, and you get your own snacks. Okay? And that'll come with 6 colon cleanse sessions as well. I'll explain a bit more about how that works in a second. And it also includes everything in pack 1. And that one's coming in at $11.99, but the regular price will be up at $13.99. Okay, so why colon cleansing? How does it work? Basically, we have, okay, I'll talk about this first. So to be done at the beginning and during the cycle as well. So you start off with one, if you're a little bit more clogged up than other people, and it'll be individually determined, you do a couple of sessions a bit more closer together. You try and get in there before you, right at the start of the program, so you really get the body flushing, okay? So inside the bowel is something called fecal mucoid, okay? What happens is it actually builds up and it just starts to calcify. Okay, and that's where the number 2, our elimination cycle, sits. And what happens is that it goes through that particular spot. Now, when it sits and it begins to calcify, it starts off just little bits at a time. But over the years, we build up. We have toxins in our environment, toxins in our food. We don't always clean our system. We're having shit food, more processed food in our world. That particular little part starts to clog up. When that starts to clog up, the gut gets smaller and smaller and smaller for anything to go through. The reason we recommend we do it at the start is because what will happen is during the colon cleanse, it's super hard, this stuff as well. That's why you can't get through it. It takes a minimum of 3 sessions to start to get that loose in there. 6 sessions, you can start to even head up towards your small intestine, which is really what we want. Large intestine, you've got your colon, which, about 2 meters worth. You've got your large intestine, and then you've got the small intestine. We want to flush all of that out, so this food can start to move through your system. This is where it gets a bit disgusting. Human has the average 35-year-old human has between 4 and 12 kilograms of dried poop inside their colon. 4 to 12 kilograms. You want to drop the weight? You can do it straight away. It's just sitting in there, collecting all up through our entire body. Crazy. And on top of that, 25% of people will have a parasite. 25% of people that go through the clinic get a parasite. You usually then get to that parasite because it usually sits up in the small intestine, large intestine, but usually 25% of people will have one, and you won't get out until maybe the 5th or 6th session, which is insane. A friend of mine who went with a group of 25 people, 21 of them were all meat eaters, and 4 of them were vegetarian or vegan. I think they were vegans. Of the 21, every single one of them had at least one parasite. Stuff sits in our meat. It's just a tiny little bit, and a lot of the time, I'm sure you guys have heard, parasites sit inside the body and they stop our system working properly. Plus, we've all got that built-up stuff, and there's a couple of studies that were done of people that had passed away in large bowels. Over 100,000 people were tested, and I can't remember the exact figure, but a very high percentage of them that passed away had an inflamed bowel with fecal mucoid build-up inside of it, calcified. So if you can, I totally recommend it. That's why I've put in there as a 3-session minimum. It's not unpleasant. I wouldn't want to clean the thing. This is, you know, but going into and actually having it, it's only a really thin thing that goes up the rectum, but it's one of the most satisfying, purifying sensations. It's not painful or anything like that. Yes, you can get dodgy ones when you go to the hospital ones. I'm not saying they're dodgy machines, but more so that they give you they give you something beforehand and it just gets you on the toilet and it just gets you flushing everything out as fast as possible because they need to be able to get up there and clean inside and do one session. Which is why this thing's a little bit softer, a little bit nicer. It takes a few more sessions to go in there and it feeds up there slowly because that spot there just takes a bit of time to break down. Okay. So we've also got 100% guarantee. If you want to go to the back of the book, actually, go to the guarantee page. I think it's like the second to last page. You can have it on the third to last page. We've got our commitment to you and your commitment to the program as well. I've just put your commitment into this one here, just to make it simple. So the goal is to follow the proven system to a T, integrating all components, undertake the 2-day preload phase as per instructed, complete the 19-day stage 2 phase, eating no more than 500 calories a day and only eating the food that's prescribed in the booklet. Complete stage 3 of the program. Stop taking the drops on day 22 and complete the final 3-day consuming 500 calories while the hCG is still circulating and removing from your system. Use the application MyFitnessPal or similar approved apps to track daily food intake. This must be sent to your consultant every 7 days. Complete all 3 one-on-one accountability sessions. Undertake the in-body scans on the first day of the program and the 24th day as well. And if you do that in its entirety and you don't lose at least 7 kilos, and we've been tracking you, I will refund you every single cent back in full. More than happy to do that because this works. You want to go onto the in-body scans, you don't lose 10 kilos, I'll refund you your money. Final tips, attend the one-on-one accountability sessions. Book them in, we'll book them in prior to the week starting, so any questions we can get through, we'll try them at the start of the week, either on the Monday, sort of Tuesday, every week, so that we start the week off right. I'm available by message, phone call, whenever you guys need to talk. That's what I'm here for. Weigh in every day on your scales. Go to your scales at the same time, do it every single day at the same time, get on them, have a look, am I losing weight? First day, no weight loss. Second day, no weight loss. Third day, still no weight loss. Now what we need to do is have an apple day. You're allowed 6 apples, 2, 2 and 2, you can separate them whatever you want, 1 throughout the day. That's if you're not losing weight. What that does is, it's just, if you go and have the colon session, I guarantee you that things will start to move. But it's like a juice, all right? Like a juice plant, it needs to get through. Something's not moving. And that's where that's where obviously disease is born. It starts to spring back up inside. But the apple will just flush straight through your system. So that's what happens if you're not moving. There's contingency plans in place. Drink tons of water. Drink tons of water. Drink tons of water. Drink tons of water. Purified water. Go and buy some puree stuff. I'm actually going to be. I've got a Zazen filter. I'm looking to get a few people on that as well. It's like a $500 machine that is amazing. Purifies the water. Another day. Pre-plan your meals. Pre-plan your meals. You don't want to be stressed out, rushing home from work, and there's nothing there ready to go. Have it ready to go. Ziploc. You look like get some chicken. Measure up 100 gram chickens on a Sunday, or whatever the exact thing is. I think it's 100 gram chicken. This is all going to be given in the recipe booklet, food list booklet. Snap lock them up so they're ready to go. You get home, boom, it's there. Good. Here's my meal. Have it prepared. It's only for 21 days. Grab some psyllium husk. It's a bit of fibre. It'll help to get things moving. It's a natural way to get the potential constipation, because we're only having the 500 calories, and obviously the body's using the fat, which is, as we know, not exactly the nicest stuff, to get out of the system. Right? So drink water to help flush that as well, because it'll help to dilute fat cells. Okay, but that's the key. Also recommending, this will be in the other booklet too, but recommending Bragg seasoning, cook with stock or broth preferably, if you can slow cook up some broth, and that's just going to add some flavour to whatever meals that we give. Okay, that you guys will be eating. Oh, and that's it. So thank you very much for attending our webinar. and I'll take any